The establishment never expected this alliance. Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, and President Trump, President of the United States, working together to expose what might be the biggest government spending scandal in American history. Well, tonight we have exclusive details about how Doge engineers, I like to call them the Doge agents, uncovered billions of your tax dollars being funneled into some of the most absurd projects you've ever heard of. 20 million for Sesame Street in Iraq. That's just the beginning. We've got the internal documents, whistleblower testimony, and shocking evidence of where your money really went. And wait until you hear about which prominent politicians are trying to shut this investigation down. And speaking of government waste, isn't it time we talked about wasted potential? While bureaucrats throw away billions of your tax dollars, Americans are wasting their own potential by using inferior collagen products. Just like Doge exposed government inefficiency, studies have exposed how most collagen supplements fail to deliver results. That's why this multi-collagen formula I trust. It's available at healthwithgary.com. It's scientifically proven to work, unlike those wasteful government programs. Fight back against aging and waste. Visit healthwithgary.com and get 51% off during the special promotion. That's healthwithgary.com. Okay, so we do have, before we get into this, we have a lesson from Professor Elon Musk. This is from the Enememes account on X. Of course, I have to put forward this disclaimer that this is not, in fact, a real thing that happened. This is AI, but it's so beautiful. It is so beautiful. This is today's lesson of Foffonomics, brought to you by Professor Elon Musk.
My corner. Hello, X. Today we are going to talk about how you can find out and how much we can find out and what it takes to get there. So as you can see, the Democrats are at max fuck around levels here. This ultimately results in max find out levels. They must be retarded. As of late, we have been seeing max fuck around levels by AOC and other D employees. It appears that they really want to find out. Not such a good idea with enemies in my corner.
Yes, they are finding out, and Doge derangement syndrome is in full effect. Oh my goodness, you can see them. Look at them all. They are all freaking out all over Washington. They can't get enough. But you know what? Elon Musk is going to celebrate it. We're going to celebrate it because the tears taste so good. Here we have Charlie Kirk. Elon Musk has successfully hacked the Matrix. His high IQ team at Doge is a major threat to the establishment. This is from the Charlie Kirk Show.
Or K-Maru. Those of you that watch Star Trek, in Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, there is a fictional training exercise called Kobayashi Maru, or K-Maru. In this, it was an exercise designed to test a cadet's character and ability to stay in control under pressure. The potential cadet must decide whether or not to try and rescue the damaged Kobayashi Maru ship or leave it destroyed. If a cadet tries to rescue the ship, they'll face an insurmountable enemy force. The exercise is intended to help cadets learn to deal with the emotional toll of defeat. Now, there's only one individual, and of course this fictional story in Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan, that was ever able to beat the Kobayashi Maru.
Okay, remember Star Trek, The Wrath of Khan? I remember watching it as a kid. Something tells me, I don't even think Charlie Kirk was born when that came out. I don't know, but you know, I remember that scene when that thing went into the ear. Oh my goodness, I remember that as a kid. It was so scary. Oh, I always imagined like earwigs when I was a kid, like they're doing that to me and getting into my brain. Oh goodness, I will never forget that. Oh man, sorry, I digress. But it just he's talking about the Wrath of Khan, and that's the first thing that came to my mind. Okay, let's continue. And it was Captain James Tiberius Kirk, no relation.
who was the only one ever to beat the exercise. And how did he do it? By hacking the simulation. What Elon Musk has done successfully via Doge is he has hacked the matrix. He won a set piece battle that was impossible, and the bad guys knew it. So the system had to be completely reprogrammed to make success possible. Reject the premise and hack the matrix. Front page of Politico.com, quote, "They've done their homework. The unexpected power of Musk's digital assault on Washington. If the rules are rigged, change the rules." Elon Musk's campaign to cut Washington bureaucracy is aiming at a very specific, very sensitive digital power center, the federal IT infrastructure. Musk and his allies have gained access to the Treasury Department's payment systems. They've commandeered enough control of OPM to send out a mass email offering to federal employees, unnamed federal officials tell the Washington Post. Anna Lewis, who is the former director of the Technology Transformation Services under GSA, says, quote, "Elon's team, they've done their homework, going where the majority of the volume of government transaction data is very strategic." Elon Musk has rejected the rules. Instead of playing the game of the Kobayashi Maru, he went and changed the rules and hacked the matrix. We're going after the computers. Give us the passwords. What Elon has done is he has consolidated technological control for the president, by the way, as his emissary, as his ambassador, as his representative, as his special government employee, to say, we can now send mass emails to the entire federal government. Did you know prior to Elon Musk showing up and doing this, there was no way to be able to email everyone at .gov?
No, I didn't know that. And now President Trump, he's got the power. Side note, I looked it up. Charlie Kirk was born on October 14th, 1993. Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan was released in theaters June 4th, 1982. Just a little sidebar there. But we respect the analogy, Charlie. Okay.
There is no federal directory of all the employees. There is no way to be able to find out who does what and where the payment systems are. Get me the passwords and you control the federal government. And the rock stars he is bringing in are these young superstars. Here's one of them, Cut 91, who's being smeared by the media as, these 19-year-olds. These 19-year-olds are smarter than the entire combined intelligence of the U.S. Senate if you exclude Mike Lee and Rand Paul. And there's a couple other great ones, too. We should be grateful that these young geniuses are giving us a minute of their time. Instead, they're being smeared, they're being attacked, and they better be careful, by the way. This could be, I'm telling you, this could be a Covington Kid situation 2.0. These are not private, these are not public figures, these are private actors that are being attacked every day by the media. This could be Nick Sandmann 2.0. Play Cut 91.
And one day I was just listening to a podcast back in March. It was with Nat Friedman. He just kind of got on the podcast, explained like there are these burnt up scrolls that were buried in the Pompeii eruption. No one knows how to read them, but some professors have created CT scans of these scrolls, and they uploaded the data on the internet as a competition to see who could find writing inside of these scrolls. I just went home from work that day at the end of the day, and I've been working on it evenings and weekends ever since. Late one Saturday night, I was sitting at a party at a friend's house in Omaha, and I get a text from another person on the challenge team, and he says, "Hey, I've just uploaded this new kind of piece of the scroll. You should take a look at it." I remotely access my computer. I type into it like, "Please run the algorithm on this new piece of scroll," and then I just kind of started. I pull out my phone again, just nonchalantly, like, "Hey, I wonder how that went." And there are 3 Greek letters on the screen, the letters I'd never seen before. It was really cool because it's like, oh my goodness, like we actually detected new writing in the scrolls using AI. That was the moment I realized, like, this is actually going to work. Like, we're probably going to read the scrolls.
That is one of the young men that Elon has brought into the government. High IQ.
That warms my heart, man. That warms my heart. But of course, the left are straight up attacking this young man. We're learning this now. Elon Musk wants to put the U.S. Treasury spending on the blockchain, which is a massive win for crypto. We'll see how that pans out. That means that it would be transparent. Elon Musk proposes putting U.S. Treasury on blockchain for full spending transparency. Citizens could track taxpayer dollars in real time. Oh, yes, make it so. Make it so. And here we have Elon Musk just 24 hours ago reposting this young lady.
Someone keep waiting and waiting and waiting for Democrats to start fucking redeeming themselves. And every single time I turn around, they make it fucking worse. Just 100%, no turnabout rate, nothing. It is just going downhill for the Democrats, dude. Can you please tell me, if someone, right, robbed a fucking bank, okay, let's talk about a hypothetical before we get into the real shit real quick. If someone robbed a bank, someone watched the security footage, saw who robbed the bank, told you who robbed the bank, you caught who robbed the bank, are you going to be mad at the person that robbed the fucking bank or the person that told you were being robbed? Okay, that's what's going on with Elon Musk right now. For those of you that don't understand, okay, Elon Musk was hired for the Department of Government Efficiency. What does the Department of Government Efficiency do? What is its main number one goal? To make sure that our government is running efficiently, dumbasses. And here you are literally trying to shoot the fucking messenger because he is showing you that a lot of our money is being wasted on shit that is not needed. What type of...
Oh, man, people are excited. I'm excited. Here's a post. Looks like this is from the press room at the White House, where I will soon have credentials to attend. And Test Dummy makes it a point that nobody is asking what Trump's favorite flavor ice cream is.
Who advised the president on the legality of telling government agencies that they don't have to spend money that was already appropriated by Congress?
Well, as the OMB memo states, this is certainly within the confines of the law. So White House counsel's office believes that this is within the president's power to do it, and therefore he's doing it.
Okay, so they disagree with lawmakers who say that they don't have the power to freeze this fund.
Again, I would point you to the language in the memo that clearly states this is within the law.
And all that happened on Friday night. The administration fired several inspectors general without giving Congress the 30-day legally required notification that they were being fired. I think only 2 were left at DHS and the DOJ. And then yesterday we saw several prosecutors, I believe 12, fired from the Justice Department who worked on the investigations into the president. As you know, they are career prosecutors, therefore they are afforded civil service protections. How is the administration deciding which laws to follow and which ones to ignore?
So it is the belief of this White House and the White House counsel's office that the president was within his executive authority to do that. He is the executive of the executive branch, and therefore he has the power to fire anyone within the executive branch that he wishes to. There's also a case that went before the Supreme Court in 2020, Scala Law LLC versus the Customs, Bureau Protection. I would advise you to look at that case, and that's the legality that this White House is resting on.
So you're confident that if they bring lawsuits against you, the prosecutors who were fired, that they will succeed?
We will win in court.
And
yes.
Did he personally direct this, given they worked on the classified documents investigation and the election interference investigation?
This was a memo that went out by the Presidential Personnel Office, and the president is the leader of this White House. So yes.
Yes, he is. Get used to it, Caitlin Collins. Get used to it. Oh, here we go. Okay, here we go. Tim Pool posting this 24 hours ago. The White House just nuked Politico's weird taxpayer-funded subscriptions. The Department of Energy has $400,000 in subscriptions for 172 people for 1 year, which is absolutely insane. Let's listen.
Comment on that. USA ID has gotten a lot of attention the last couple of days with some of these bizarre things that we've been, taxpayers have been funding. Now it looks like there are a couple media outlets that have been dragged into this conversation as far as USA ID funding as well. Does the president have any comment on that?
So upon coming out here to the briefing room, I was made aware of the funding from USAID to media outlets, including Politico, who I know has a seat in this room. And I can confirm that the more than $8 million taxpayer dollars that have gone to essentially subsidizing subscriptions to Politico on the American taxpayers' dime will no longer be happening. The Doge team is working on canceling those payments now. Again, this is a whole of government effort to ensure that We are going line by line when it comes to the federal government's books. And this president and his team are making decisions across the board on, do these receipts serve the interests of the American people? Is this a good use of the American taxpayers' money? If it is not, that funding will no longer be sent abroad, and American taxpayers will see.
USA ID.
Oh, baby, let's go. Oh, my goodness. The news is just getting better and better by the day. But, of course, we have Elon derangement syndrome, which is taking root in Washington, D.C. If you all recall, Trump derangement syndrome. Well, now that was, TDS. Now we have EDS.
Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Elon.
You get the point, right? Oh, man. Okay. Oh, now we have this. Representative Summer Lee, speaking of Elon derangement syndrome, she posts 24 hours ago, we moved to subpoena Elon Musk, an unelected billionaire with massive conflicts of interest, a personal vendetta, and access to our most sensitive financial systems, but Republicans blocked it. See, they are going to attack Elon Musk just as hard as they attacked Donald Trump in his first administration and the following 4 years afterwards. Elon Musk is their new attack vector.
Barons are I am afraid that we are witnessing the biggest con in real time.
Wow.
Our federal government is being fleeced by hand.
I would say the biggest con in real time was when they said that Joe Biden was sharp as a tack day in and day out. That was the biggest con. And now they're complaining that someone's actually reviewing every payment the government makes to clean it up on behalf of the American people. Oh, okay, let's listen.
Full of billionaires at the expense of everyday people. They're what we call unelected billionaire oligarchs, and they are not trying to right-size the government. They're not trying to make things more efficient or improve services.
What?
They want to eliminate their competition and grow their private coffers. The collective net worth of the president's cabinet is over $460 billion. That is unprecedented in our country's history, even counting the days of the robber barons, or when the only folks who could serve in government were landowning wealthy white men.
Oh, come on.
This isn't just government by the top 1%. It is government by the top 0.0001%. And these aren't just disinterested outsiders who are benevolent volunteers coming in to help us situate our government, right? These are people who have conflict of interests. They have financial stakes. They are even tied to litigation against the very agencies that they have been tasked to lead. Musk alone has nearly 100 government contracts across 17 federal agencies that total $3 billion. By all accounts, Musk is now running rampant through our federal agencies, accountable to no one, and doing what he pleases with federal systems and data with no transparency and no oversight. It's still unclear if he has security clearance or if he's passed a background check. He certainly hasn't filed any financial disclosures. This is absolutely outrageous, and Americans are rightfully mad. This is the Committee on Oversight, one of the most important committees, particularly in this era, yet Republicans did not bring Elon Musk, the private citizen, given access to all other private citizens' data, and the one leading all of this chaos. And just this morning, they blocked our efforts to bring him in.
Good. I mean, he's just White House tech support, so stop crying, okay? You're just worried that your slush fund's getting exposed, and it is. Government fraud, rabbit hole posting, government fraud and waste broken down by department. The Treasury is estimated to have somewhere around 23.87% of its budget being used in fraudulent and wasteful fashion. Okay, so Treasury Department, Labor, Veterans Affairs, Agriculture, Health and Human Services, Education, Defense, Small Business Administration, Housing, Urban Development, Homeland Security, Social Security Administration, and Transportation. That is how much waste that they have already uncovered with Doge. And it is only going to get cut. Here is Elon Musk posting this. He just says, wow, payment errors by program. From the article, $186 billion, 79% of such errors were concentrated in five program areas: Medicare, Medicaid, pandemic unemployment assistance, earned income tax credit, paycheck protection program, loan forgiveness. Payment errors. Holy cow. $186 billion found in just payment errors alone. I mean, I think they're going to be able to get to that $2 trillion mark very, very soon. Robbie Starbuck pointing out, what I find really odd about Democrats trying to fearmonger about Elon and Doge getting access to everyone's social security numbers, the fact that all of our social security numbers already got leaked in 2024 when Biden was in office via the National Public Data Hack. Yep. Here's the Independent headline. Not to alarm you, but your social security number is already leaked. Thanks, Joe Biden. And now we're finding this just 8 hours ago. Federal judge has limited Doge access to sensitive Treasury Department payment system records. What are they hiding? Chuck Callesto is pointing that out. I'm sure they're going to find a way around that. Oh, my goodness. We will not shut up. Yeah, well, no one's listening. Democrats ramp up their protests against Elon Musk on Capitol Hill, hurling expletives and insults at the billionaire as Doge aims to clean up government waste at USAID and other federal agencies. They can scream and cry all they want. Here we have more Mike Engelman. I certainly appreciate what Elon Musk is doing with Doge and exposing the corruption like USAID. This is just the tip of the iceberg. His willingness to take the heat for doing so for free takes courage and strength, yet keeps the pressure off Trump. You know, I thought about that for a second when I heard them all going, Elon Musk, Elon Musk, Elon Musk. The words that they weren't saying were Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump. Really interesting how they're all focusing on Elon, but they're not focusing on Donald. I think that they're going to try and get Elon out from that administration by any means necessary. I don't believe they'll be successful. Also, this Doge entering NOAA, raising Democrat fears it will be dismantled. So we'll find out more about that. Elon Musk is exposing the left's idiotic pet project, wasting billions of America's tax dollars. It's a beautiful thing to watch. And here's CNN being forced to report it.
In months and months, the American people delivered President Trump a very clear mandate to root out waste, fraud, and abuse in the federal government. And, you know, let me tell you, we've been talking about bringing Elon Musk in for months and months and months now. I think my colleagues on the other side of the aisle like to act as if this is something novel, as if this is something that's unexpected. This is part of the Trump mandate, getting rid of wasteful spending. I think that my colleagues on the other side of the aisle seem not to be upset about our tax dollars going to idiotic projects, particularly within USAID, but the fact that all of this waste is finally being exposed, and Elon Musk is playing a key role in that. The American people—
Let's go. Keep exposing it. Keep exposing it. Here we have the press secretary just 6 hours ago talking about going through the federal government line by line and making this government more efficient.
56% going through the federal government line by line and making this government more efficient is one of those priorities and one of those promises that President Trump made. And as you just cited, John, 56% of Americans support freezing foreign aid. And I read a fascinating article in the Washington Post today. They interviewed voters in Pennsylvania, and all of them said that they support President Trump and Elon Musk's efforts to make this government more efficient. What President Trump and Elon Musk and this entire administration is trying to do is make our bloated bureaucracy here in Washington run like a profitable business. And every agency has been tasked with going line by line and ensuring that the American taxpayers' money is aligned with the American people's interests. It's a common sense solution to fixing a decades-old problem of bloated bureaucracy, waste, fraud, and abuse. And and the vast majority of Americans support it. So the Democrats can hoot and holler all they want. This White House will stay committed to delivering on President Trump's priorities and being good stewards of the hardworking American people's tax dollars.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Oh, here's Joe Rogan. We're getting a chance to see what happens when you take a business approach to government in the White House.
Massive amounts of, what's fascinating right now is we're getting a chance to see what happens when you take a business approach to the government in the White House. We're seeing right now with this whole U.S. aid thing where they're uncovering massive amounts of corruption and waste and just a lot of weird shady shit with NGOs and where an enormous amount of money is going. And you're seeing someone look at this thing that is incredibly efficient almost by design. And instead of saying like, well, this is just how it is, and this is how these politicians get funded, so let's just keep this thing going the same way it is and make some incremental changes to try to make people happy so we still get elected. Instead of that, you're seeing a politician, a president who's coming in who can't get reelected, so he's just going ham. And he's just cleaning out everything. And people are freaking out. The same people that say we need radical change. We need radical change. We've got corruption. We need radical change. Okay, well, here's your radical change. We don't need this. But you do. The government does. They need oversight. And they haven't had that. And because of that, you're seeing this not just waste. You could call it waste, but it's deeper. It's deeper than waste. It's corruption. And you're seeing that corruption get weeded out. I am hoping that this is successful and that it yields a benefit to the American people, to the working class people, to everybody, where they recognize like, hey, we can't just be spending all our fucking tax money on nonsense. And it all should be done with a real clear understanding of getting results. If that happens and that idea spreads across the country, because ideas spread and people change their minds. And, and sometimes it happens. One guy in the neighborhood will go, you know what, fuck this, I'm fed up. And then everybody like, I've been kind of thinking that too. I just didn't want to say it. And then people start talking. And then it's not a scary thing to discuss anymore.
And that's what we're doing here. We are spreading ideas. Here is, really? Representative Jim McGovern is alleging from the House floor that Elon Musk and his Doge team are committing crimes. Okay. This is how it begins.
Mr. Speaker, it's being reported that Elon Musk has sent his creepy minions to illegally install a private server that is stealing people's information. They are using it to skirt laws about sensitive and possibly even classified information, giving them access to people's social security numbers, home addresses, and more. What is happening is a crime, plain and simple. It's a crime. The Privacy Act of 1974, the Federal Information Security Management Act of 2002, Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, as well as provisions of the Internal Revenue Code. Elon says it's a crime to expose who he has put in charge of the federal government. No, Elon, no. It is a crime to hide that from the American people. And I, for one, am not going to stand by while he gets his grubby little billionaire hands all over our parents' and grandparents' Social Security checks. And he better believe that he's going to be held accountable for all of this. The truth is coming out. He is stealing from the American people, and we are not going to let him do it. Mr. Speaker.
This is how it begins, folks. They start to allege crimes. They're going to try to indict him. Oh, wow. Okay, here is more insanity. Doge exposed the U.S. government has been throwing away Social Security money on gender programs. Senator Tommy Tuberville telling the truth.
Dead broke. This is all a scam. I mean, we got people that's getting ready to retire that's going to try to live off $2,000 to $3,000. Impossible. It's impossible. Because what happens, it comes up here, we spend it. We're $35 trillion in debt. We don't have any money. We're dead broke. And then taxpayers have $2 trillion in credit card debt. We are in huge trouble. And this body, we had better start figuring that out, because we're going to have a run on this city here soon, and there's going to be about 150 million people coming up here saying, where's our damn money that we paid in? I could have put my Social Security money 40 years in tax and in the market, and probably be worth 8 to 10 million today. But the federal government wasted it. So I'll get off my horse there. But it's good that we have this, because we got, I get a little pension check from education. I was part of a union. It's not going to help people. People are going to have to continue to work longer and longer. Am I right, Ms. Gender? Can you say something about Social Security and it being taxed for some reason? We're taxing people for the second time on Social Security that they put into an account.
Yeah, and I'd like to point out when Social Security was first founded, those who established it was started out as a 2% tax, and they said this will never take more than 6% of your income. Today, it takes 12.4%. And depending on whether you go with CBO or Social Security trustees, it needs to take between 15.8 and 17.5%. So we're talking about thousands of dollars more per year. It also was actually only originally recommended that the tax be up to $66,000, equivalent in today's dollars of earnings. But over time, it has expanded massively, and the money has been spent every year. So whereas everybody thinks this money's been set aside for me, no, for the past 13 years, every dollar that has gone out of workers' paychecks has gone immediately to pay promised benefits. And that's what happens when you have a system that enables those in charge of it to spend the money in the immediate term and leave the buck to the next generation that's coming.
Oh, yeah. But that party is coming to an end. That's what Elon Musk is exposing. Here we have this. This is just 8 hours ago. Representative Greg Caesar holding a press conference to fire Elon Musk.
Fire. I'm Greg Caesar. I'm proud to be chair of the Congressional Progressive Caucus. And today we're here to say with one voice, fire Elon Musk. An unelected, unaccountable billionaire now has seemingly unlimited powers over Americans' private data and over Americans' taxpayer dollars. It seems every hour brings more news about a new threat Elon Musk poses to working people, a new way that Elon Musk wants to take your hard-earned money and keep it for himself. Just yesterday, Musk threatened to go after Medicare and Medicaid. Just yesterday, we also learned that Head Start programs serving 20,000 young students are locked out of their federal funding by Elon Musk. To be clear, that means that you have a billionaire, the richest person on earth, willing to take away your health care, willing to take away kids' lunches and meals, willing to take away pre-K, just so that he can finance a tax break for himself and his billionaire buddies. And just last night, Elon Musk came out and we found out that he's interfering with air traffic control. When Musk took over Twitter, he repeatedly crashed that platform. It's not a big deal if your app doesn't load one day, but it is a huge deal if you don't know if your plane is going to crash or not.
Wow, listen to the fear-mongering coming from these guys.
Don't fight back. Elon Musk will take dollars away from our public schools, away from our healthcare, away from Social Security, away from our own safety systems, and use those dollars to line his own pockets.
Oh, wow. You hear what they're alleging? This is out of control. Out of control. Well, here is one person who is spot on.
That Elon Musk has. So we're still mad about the grocery prices that didn't come down, even though Trump has only been in office for a couple weeks. And now we're mad that Elon Musk has access to the Treasury payments. But what I want to know is, why aren't we mad about the fact that we've been auto-paying anybody that asks for money, even if it's a terrorist group? You guys are constantly saying that we're the uneducated side, but why aren't you guys questioning the fact that the highest-ranking Treasury official would rather resign than agree to an audit? We're so uneducated, but why aren't you guys putting two and two together about why they want to sue for Elon having access to the Treasury payments while his team, Doge, is exposing all the bullshit that our money is being spent on? You guys are still pushing grocery prices in our face, but why aren't you guys upset over the $4 million that we spend yearly to prove whether duck quacks echo or not? Or why aren't you guys upset over the fact that we spend $5 million a year on sandwich standards? I live in New York. Do you really think that I want my money going towards a fucking pigeon sculpture while they're shitting on everything? And that's not even scratching the surface of where our money is going. Apparently, there's 1,200 of these type of programs. You mean to tell me that our government has been spending money on things that have long expired? One example being from 1998, and you guys are not mad about that? You guys are still bitching about grocery prices, and you're bitching about the fact that Elon Musk is about to stop our money from being spent on bullshit programs that we can now argue is money laundering. You guys can bitch that I'm spreading conspiracy all you want to, but there's no fucking way that I'm going to be okay with the fact that there's a cloud watching program that my money goes towards.
Let's go, baby. Clean it up. Clean it up. We've got more. Let's continue. Holy cow. I think we've got one more we have to get to here. Oh, this is just so great, though, to witness all this happening. And I think they're going to try to bring him up on some kind of indictment, some charges. But I think since we now know that Reagan's portrait is in the Oval Office again, let's take a flashback to this moment of President Reagan.
Machine. You know, sometimes the big spenders in Congress talk as if all that money they spend just kind of magically appears on their doorstep, a gift from the Internal Revenue Service. They talk as if spending were all giving and no taking. Well, there is no magic money machine. Every dollar the government spends comes out of your pockets. Every dollar the government gives to someone has to first be taken away from someone else. So it's our moral duty to make sure that we can justify every one of your tax dollars, that we spend them wisely and carefully, and just as important, fairly. Unfortunately, hardly anyone could honestly call federal budgets wise, careful, or fair. Is it fair to ask one small business to help subsidize its competitors? Is it fair to ask workers in the private economy to pay for civil service pensions that are much more generous than the retirement benefits they receive? Is it fair to ask low-income families to help pay for the college education of children from families with incomes as high as $100,000 a year? Is it fair to ask taxpayers to help pay billions for export subsidies to a handful of America's biggest corporations? Well, it isn't fair, and you know it. But that's the law of the land right now, just part of the legacy of 50 years of trying to do good things for all by treating your earnings like government property. The time has come to decide what benefits we can properly expect from the federal government for ourselves, our neighbors, and those in need, and what government can take from us in taxes without making everyone worse off, including those who need our help. The one thing we cannot do is stay on the immoral, dead-end course of deficit spending. You know,
oh man, this one's for the Gipper, my friends. We're going to win this for the Gipper! Oh. The revelations that we've covered tonight about government wasteful spending, just the tip of the iceberg. Elon Musk's Doge team has uncovered a web of corruption that spans continents and involves some of the most powerful people in Washington, from gender programs in Guatemala to pottery classes in Morocco. Your tax dollars have been funding a global circus of waste. But here's what's really keeping DC insiders up at night. What happens when Doge gets full access to the Treasury Department's records? What are they so desperately trying to hide? Drop your predictions in the comments below. What do you think is the biggest scandal yet to be uncovered in this investigation? I cannot wait to read your comments, and I do read them. Stand with truth tellers. Grab your limited edition MAG Avengers gear at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. Linked below.